In this video, I'm going to go over how to level the Chaos Stored Lich, or otherwise known as the Ascendancy Contagion Lich. We'll go over what gems to use, how to path through the passive tree, and how to gear in the campaign, and what Ascendancy notables to pick first. The Chaos Stored Lich is one of the strongest Witch League starters in the current meta, so if you're looking for a smooth League starting experience, this is the build for you. For the gems, so the first, you want to use your support gems first on Essence Drain, and what you get is Zenith and Chain. The Chain is basically quality of life, and it has a damage penalty, but it only applies to hits and won't apply to the damage over time part of Essence Drain. And Zenith, with Zenith you need to know that when the spell hits the enemy, you need to be above 90% of your maximum mana to gain the damage boost. And as a third support gem, you can get Swift Affliction. And on Contagion, you get Magnified Area to increase the spread radius. And when you don't have quality, you also get Unleash, so that these spells will reoccur for each seal that it has. Later on, you can use Rapid Casting or Chaotic Freeze, or you can also use Hinder. And your first spirit gem is going to be Withering Presence. Withering Presence applies Withered, and Withered will increase damage, chaos damage taken by enemies. And you get Prolonged Duration, it used to be called Persistence. And at once you have a level 5 Anchored skill gem, you get Chaos Mastery. At level 12 you can use Bone Storm for single target damage. And you will link Bone Storm with Multi-Shot and Brutality. Or you have a Will Wand, a level 5 Chaos Bolt or level 4 Chaos Bolt. What you do is you link Zenith and Control Destruction to the Chaos Bolt over here, and you use this for single target, and the Chaos Bolt will also apply Wither on hit. You would use this instead of Bone Storm. And at level 31 you get Dark Effigy and Despair. So important to know is with Dark Effigy, the more chaos debuffs the enemy has, the more projectiles it will fire. So you will be applying chaos debuffs with Essence Drain, Contagion. Then you also want to get Poison on your Dark Effigy, as well as Decaying Hex on your Despair. And you also get Overabundance, and for Overabundance you need to have increased skill effect duration on the passive tree, and I'm gonna go over the passive tree later. And then you can get Control Destruction or Execute. And on your Despair you get Prolonged Duration, and you can also have Efficiency. Also forgot to mention, I would keep the Contagion at a lower level, because increasing the level of Contagion doesn't really give that much base chaos damage per second, but the base mana cost will increase by a lot. So I recommend keeping Contagion at a lower level. And as your second spirit gem, you can get Convalescence. Convalescence is basically like Wild Discipline in PE1. And while you're with the Convalescence debuff, your energy shield recharge won't be interrupted, so you can get, I would recommend Prolonged Duration and it used to be called Ingenuity, now it's Cooldown Recovery. And later on you can also use Second Wind. And I also then add Blink, but you need some spirit gear to add Blink. Alright, for the passive tree, you obviously start here, and then you go through these skills damage nodes. And then you get the increased spell damage. Afterwards you path down here, get the increased chaos damage with skill effect duration. Skill effect duration will apply to your Contagion, Essence Drain, your Dark Effigy later on as well, your Withering Presence, the Wither stacks that your Withering Presence inflicts, and also the Convalescence, so very good. Then you go over here, you get the Dark Entries for the +1 chaos skills. +1 chaos skills is roughly 15% more damage. And at level 31 you get your Dark Effigy, and Dark Effigy usually used with the Overabundance. And Overabundance has reduced skill effect duration, so you want to have increased skill effect duration, these nodes. then you can go either over here for increased kills damage, or you can go over here, increase effective wither and increase kills damage. You click these nodes. The gain % of damage as extra kills damage will only apply to your hit part, but it's 11%, so it's quite a bit. It only affects Dark Effigy and the hit part of Essence Drain. And then you can start thinking about defense. You get the increased maximum energy shield, or you can get increased maximum shield earlier, and you just don't pick these nodes, and you don't pick these. You get increased maximum energy shield here. You get these nodes. When you're down here, you can spec out of these 4 points because they only give 8% increased spell damage. You can get more increased maximum energy shield here, and you want to have faster start of energy shield recharge because the base value is pretty high. And with faster start of energy shield recharge, you also want to have energy shield recharge rate. And then you can get increased cast speed, quality of life, and also damage for your essence, for your Dark Effigy. You can get more faster start of energy shield recharge if you want, or you can go over here for increased maximum energy shields and stun threshold, as well as ailment threshold, making it more difficult for enemies to stun you or freeze, ignite, shock you. And you can get more increased maximum energy shield here, as well as stun threshold. If you have a good helmet, you can click this, but you normally go down here. And yeah, that's your tree at level 72. Should be done at the campaign, long done at with the campaign at this point. And oh, I forgot, you would also connect these, this part with the increased cast speed, so you can spec out of these nodes because they are not very good. I saw with Soulless Form, and this one will make it so that your mana regeneration is based off your maximum life and not your mana. And then you can get the average empowerment, because at this point you're gonna have a little bit of energy shields benefit from this node. And then you get Eternal Life, and then the socket. With Eternal Life, you would usually go Azirius Disdain as a helmet, which, because it has the line 10% of damage taken bypasses energy shield. And you get a increased maximum energy shield node, and then as a second stat you can have increased spell damage, increased effective withered, increased peasants area effect. This will affect the Withering presence. You can go for cast speed, kills damage. And for your gear, you want to look for, basically you want to check the vendor quite frequently. So every time you level up, the vendor will refresh a part of his inventory, and you want to check for wands with either plus spell skills or plus kill spell skills. And each level of plus spell skills will give you roughly 15% more damage, so it's really important. And the second stat you obviously want is increased spell damage. Cast speed is gonna increase the damage of Dark Effigy, but will only be quality of life for your Essence Drain. So you get the plus kill spell skills, and you can get plus spell skills on the amulet too. But in the campaign it's pretty rare to get plus spell skills on your amulet, so I wouldn't count on that. And you would also check the vendor for focus with plus spell skills. Plus spell skills on the focus is also pretty common. I would expect a +1 for the entire campaign. So if you get a +1, that's really, really good. If you're lucky, you can also get cast speed on your rings, but I wouldn't count on it. And the rest of your gear, you basically get energy shield bases with resistances. You don't need spirit. And of course you want high movement speed boots. So I usually check the vendor with a regex. So I have this, and this is checking for spell skills. Spell skills. For example, here it highlights me because it has +2. This one is for cast speed. This one is for spell damage. And I'm gonna post this regex in the description, and I also check for resistances. But thank you for watching, and I'm also gonna post a build overview of my current character. Bye!